Hi guys, so I'm actually very upset. I just read an article about a trans woman who was in Orlando airport and TSA decided to be a bunch of dicks. And I say that's because it is utterly bullshit what they did. So basically, they gave her a hard time because she has an anomaly. I guess I pronounced that correctly. In a certain region that we're not going to talk too much about. So TSA decides that it is the appropriate action to not only detain this woman, but also, humiliate her by asking her questions such as, "What sex are you?" Doing two full body pat downs and basically holding her for 40 minutes. She was forced basically against her will to miss her flight over nothing. Over nothing. But, the thing is these assholes currently are still employed. And that's just totally wrong. Just wrong. Now, this person who went through this hell happens to be a writer, happens to be a reporter. Let me get the name. I can't pronounce her name. It's Shadi Petrosky, I think. Petosky? I don't know. Basically, they detained her to perform a bomb check after a body scan shows that she has something that's different. This is bullshit. This is total bullshit. And you think that, with all the news about transgender people, that TSA would be a little more accustomed to this. Because here's the problem that I have. It's that part of my job requires going to other sites in other states. Not driving, flying. Now, I haven't been on a plane since, I think it was 2013 was the last time I was on a plane. Now, I will actually bring up an interesting story that when I was in Puerto Rico with my family, on our way back, TSA decided to give me a hard time because I was wearing a sports bra. Now, I was wearing a sports bra when I still identified as a male because I had gynecomastia. Now, gynecomastia is a medical condition in which a man develops breasts. It happens. Actually, a very large percentage of the male population in this world develops breasts at some point. So I was wearing a sports bra as a form of concealment to kind of flatten them down and make them less obvious. So a TSA agent, a guy, it wasn't even a girl, it was a fucking guy, goes and he basically tugs at my shirt and goes, he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I said, "It's a sports bra." And he's like, "Why are you wearing one?" I said, "Why do you care?" And this is this kind of thing where we train our TSA agents to believe that they're police officers when they're not. They're just government employees. That's all they are. But the problem that I have, honestly, the biggest problem I have is how when you're flying, all of your rights just don't exist. And this is total bullshit that we live in a world such as this. Like that this woman is such a threat because she has something interesting between her legs. Like, this is fucking bullshit. And I worry as a trans person because, again, I will have to fly at some point, and my ID says I'm a female. My real government ID, like they have this new program now called Real ID, which is you have to verify so much information, and at some point, I think in 2020, it will be required that you have a Real ID government ID, which requires even more in-depth background checks and all that bullshit, so you could fly safer. Even though TSA is just a glorified, it's an act. That's all it is. Are we truly more secure over TSA? No, we're not. And this has been proven by countless. I believe that there's actually a website called something of the lines of "I got through security with this." And they insert whatever they got through. And I've heard people got guns through it. I've heard people got knives through it. I've heard people got all sorts of things past TSA because they aren't the brightest of the bunch. And when it comes to this, they become power hungry And who knows? It could just be something simple as this TSA agent happens to hate trans people. And that could very well be the case. I mean, we have Kim Davis, who hates, gay people because of her God. What's to stop another government employee from being a total douche and just completely going above and beyond to be a complete piece of shit? And, I'm sorry I'm cursing in this video so much more than I usually do, but this really pisses me off because it's not fair and it's not right. And that's the issue. That, that this person had to miss their flight. It could have potentially caused even more harm to their day-to-day life. Imagine this person lost their job because they weren't able to make this flight over this. Let's say, this person was going home to visit a sick relative, and that sick relative died because she didn't make it in time. These are the kind of things that TSA should have in the back of their mind when they choose to be royal douchebags. But there's a hashtag going on right now with Twitter called Traveling While Trans, and I urge you all to voice your opinions using that hashtag. I've already posted a few things because it is a fear that I have being who I am. And, of course, you have idiots already, people writing the dumbest fucking things like, oh, I'm not sorry for this person. This person deserved this. Really? This person deserves to be treated like shit because she's transgender. Really now? So you're saying I deserve to be treated like shit because I'm transgender. So, I don't, you see, this is the part that I don't understand. What does me being transgender do to you? Nothing. Because I'm trying to be authentic to who I am, it upsets people. For some fucking reason. And the biggest excuse that drives me up a fucking wall is when people bring up God or religions, as their reason for hating what you're doing. And it just, we live in a stupid society. We had this bullshit with segregation. We had this bullshit with slavery. We had this bullshit with women's rights movement. We have this bullshit all the time. And then watch, we're not going to be the last thing, or the last cause for fighting for civil rights. Okay, we're definitely not the last one. We're the current one. But what's funny is history repeats itself. I guarantee 20 years from now, people then are going to look back at this and say, seriously? People seriously gave transgender people a hard time? What the fuck? Don't you realize it's a medical condition? It is a fucking medical condition, not a mental. The American Psychiatric Association classifies this as a neurological disorder. It's not a mental condition. It is not someone being crazy. It is not a fucking choice. We are who we are. We can't change that. We can't change the fact that my brain says female, but my body wasn't matching that. But then, how is that? It just fucking pisses me off. Would you take conjoined twins and fucking strip search them because they look different? That's the same thing. What about a paraplegic? A person who's missing a fucking leg. You're gonna, oh no, we gotta search this guy. He's missing a leg, and it could be a weapon. That leg, no, because when that happens, and if it ever happened, which it happened, a few people had fake breasts because they lost their breasts to cancer. So I remember there was an article about TSA did this a while back. This is probably almost 6 years ago. I remember they forced a woman to take off her prosthetic breasts and basically dehumanized her in public. And, eventually, those people were fired for that. But that has to happen here. Don't say because you don't agree with it or you don't understand it. Don't fucking say that this is perfectly okay, that this person deserved it because they're trans. You know what I fucking believe? I fucking believe that if you're a sexual predator and you're going through TSA, I think that you should be strip searched. And then you should have the TSA agent shove a hot rod up your ass. To me, I have zero sympathy for people who have actually committed crimes that affect others. But the point is, I'm not committing a crime by being who I am. I am a fucking female if you like it or not. You can say over and over and over, oh, you're not a female, you're not a female, you're not a female. I have a driver's license that says I'm a female, so I don't know. You know, try arguing your point, but in the court of law, I'm a female if you like it or not. And the thing is, it brings me a smile to my face when I say that, yes, I am a fucking female. I am. And I'm proud of being who I am. And I think that everyone out there that is trans or anything else like that, you know, we really need to stand up and say, look, this is not right, and action really needs to be taken upon this. Because I shouldn't be afraid to fly because we have jackasses who are not properly trained working our security system at an airport. It just fucking drives me up a wall that this shit still happens today. This is the 21st century, guys. It's 2015. Can we fucking grow the fuck up, stop being cavemen, stop being stupid, and just use common sense? You know, it's just like, you would think with all the coverage on the news today, you would think that a TSA agent is not in the dark ages, is not, living underneath a rock. I'm sure this person knew what a transgender person is. It's really stupid, and, I swear if it ever happens to me, I'm going to cause a scene. I swear, and I'm going to do it in front of everybody. I'll say, no, go right ahead. Strip me in front of everybody. Go ahead, be a piece of shit. Treat me inhumane. And stories like this upset me because they illegally detained her. That's the part that upsets me. And there's currently some lawsuits in Las Vegas because Hard Rock Hotel has illegally detained a person who was counting cards, not actually breaking the law. But instead of just asking the person to leave, they decided to treat him like, like an animal. Lock him up. Treat him like shit. Go through his persons. And that kind of stuff really irritates me in this world. Because the point is, they do not have a right to do this. And, I hope she presses charges. I really do. And, that person, you know what? The persons that did it to her should have this forced upon them. See how they like it. What they should do is they should just say, you got a zit on your face. That could be a weapon there. I have to strip search you now. I'm going to illegally detain you for 40 minutes. I'm going to do full body pat downs over and over again because I'm not 100% sure you're not a threat. Someone should do that to these people. These people should never be allowed to work in any form of security ever again after this. They should not be allowed to have a government job ever again after this incident because you're failing to serve the people. That's what you are. When you're a government worker, you are there to serve the people, not the other way around. And this is just so asinine. And the thing is that what's worse is that this is just one incident that's actually public, right? No, there's a lot of things that go unseen. There's a lot of incidences where police officers are extra rude to a trans person, that they purposely use the wrong pronouns, which actually is considered illegal now. The thing is that, and I hope that people understand, that if you purposely misgender somebody and refuse to use their preferred name and pronouns, it is classified as sexual harassment now. So, do what you please. The point is, you're breaking the law and you're doing something illegal. Have a good one, guys. I would like to see your comments on this. I'm sure I'm going to read tons of stupid ones. Can't have YouTube without stupidity. Shit, right?